Hi there, and welcome to the Deep South Podcast, where the stakes just keep climbing and the edges of reality are fraying like duct tape in the rain. Last week, Raccoon Jr. folded me up like an origami coupon and hauled me off into who knows where. Apparently, I talk too much. Personally, I'd rather be mouthy than be a cosmic homewrecker with a god complex, but hey, we don't get to pick our gifts. Things are about to get weird in a real shiny floating mirror kind of way. I came to in a place that wasn't anywhere. Too big to be a room, too wrong to be a dream. Colors bled into each other and shades my eyes didn't have names for. The ground beneath me was polished crystal that rippled like water when I blinked, and mirrors drifted overhead like lazy fish catching light from nowhere. Raccoon Jr. was standing there, barefoot on the crystal, not making a sound. Every mirror in sight had tilted toward her without touching a thing. She didn't say a word, she just looked at me like I was some weird science project she wasn't sure she wanted to grade. Raccoon Jr., you been staring at me this whole time? I mumbled, still half asleep. That's romantic in a stalkery sort of way.
You snore like someone trying to suck peanut butter through a straw. And my name is Mary,
she said flatly. Oh, I just practice in case of peanut butter emergencies. And you ain't getting away from Raccoon Jr. Hang it up. Why didn't you wake me up sooner?
I was enjoying the quiet.
Well, I guess you got me there. She took a step forward. Her reflection in the floor lagged behind her like it was thinking about it.
You're not in danger,
she said. Yeah, that's not usually how folks open with good news.
This place,
she said, gesturing at the endless mirrors and crystalline ground,
is a construct. A veil wrapped around a veil. It's tied to me, to my mind.
I frowned. So, we're in your head?
In a way, this space is where the ritual takes root.
That word snagged in my brain. Ritual? She nodded once, slow.
The unmaking.
I let out a low whistle. That don't sound real friendly.
It's not. It's a last resort. Something the Triad created centuries ago, when we thought humanity might someday reach a point of no return.
She lifted her hand. The sky above her cracked open like ice under a boot, revealing another sky beneath, one of shattered stars and flickering scraps of memory. In a blink, we were standing in the middle of a village square. No sound, no movement. The air felt heavy, like the whole place was holding its breath. Everything was grayed out, colors drained until it looked like an unfinished painting left to gather dust. Raccoon Jr. stepped forward, voice low and steady.
They came at night. Sometimes with torches, sometimes with nooses. They took women from their homes, from their children.
As she spoke, the world bent and reshaped around her. A door to our left flew open. A woman was dragged out, her mouth open in a scream I couldn't hear. A baby wailing somewhere inside. The silence made it worse, like the air itself had decided not to carry the sound. The ground beneath us spiderwebbed with a fresh crack, thin but growing.
They accused us of evil, but they didn't know what evil looked like, only what made them afraid.
Another fissure split open near her hand. She didn't flinch, but her fingers twitched like she was holding something back. More houses rose from the fog, each one unraveling into new scenes. A teenage girl pried from her mother's arm. A crowd cheering as the stake caught fire. A boy clutching a feather charm too young to know what death was. Each story brought another fracture. The sky splintered overhead like a mirror under pressure. These are real? I asked.
They live in me. People I couldn't save. The Triad was supposed to protect the innocent and destroy those who weren't. That was the balance.
The square melted away into a warped courtroom. The wood was twisted and warped. The judges at the bench eyeless and unmoving. One slammed a gavel and the sound was sharp enough to rattle my teeth. The floor split violently beneath us, cracks spreading like lightning and glass.
They didn't kill witches, not the ones who were truly dangerous. Those knew how to hide. They killed frightened women, midwives, herbalists, children who played with stones the wrong way.
The scene bled away until there was nothing left but Raccoon Jr. Her bare feet balanced on a thin platform of crystal. The void below was crawling with cracks. I wanted to say something, but every word felt too small to carry the weight of what I'd just seen. And for a second, watching her there, I wasn't sure she even knew I was still standing beside her.
That's why I invoked the ritual. That's why I started the unmaking. I thought if humanity was going to devour itself, maybe it deserved to start over.
A jagged fissure ripped across the sky. The sound, like a breath held for centuries, finally let go. I looked around, cracks everywhere now, hanging in the air, carved across the floor like scars in glass. Curious, I walked up to one of them and stuck my finger through. My finger disappeared into the void and popped back out a few feet behind me from a crack hovering in midair. I turned, watching my own finger wiggling like it was trying to get my attention. So naturally, I stuck my whole hand through a different crack and called out, "Hey, look over there," while pointing behind Raccoon Jr. She glanced back, only to see my hand coming out another fissure, flipping her the bird. She didn't find it half as funny as I did. I doubled over laughing. Ha ha, classic. She just raised an eyebrow and pointed behind me to one of the floating mirrors. I turned, expecting some smug magic trick, only to see my reflection folding again. First the knees, then the shoulders bending backwards till they nearly touched them. It was me, bent in ways that made my stomach clench, and yet my face in the mirror was calm, almost bored. I flinched back instinctively, but the image stayed there, moving slow like a spider setting a trap. My hands twitched at my sides. "Okay," I muttered. "That's less funny." I pulled my hand back and looked at her. "So, you're really doing it, huh? Gonna reset the whole human race? Hit the cosmic Etch-a-Sketch." Raccoon Jr. didn't smile. Her voice was even.
I already started.
The floor beneath us gave a slow, hollow pulse like something massive and very old had just turned over in its sleep. The air had that feeling right before a thunderstorm, heavy and still.
You're here because you're the anchor.
I'm sorry, the what now?
The ritual chooses someone. Someone with unshakable faith in humanity. Someone it must convince. That's the final step. If you believe the world should be unmade, your life completes the spell.
Okay, I said slowly. Let's back that train up and count the red flags. Raccoon Jr. didn't flinch.
It chose you because of what you are.
A redneck with a possum infestation and a deeply suspicious relationship with hot dog water? She tilted her head.
You believe in people. That's rarer than you think.
That's it? I get wrapped into some soul-nuking ritual because I'm nice?
You're kind.
She corrected.
Even when you're scared. Even when people don't deserve it.
For a moment, I didn't have a comeback. The mirrors above us spun slow and lazy, catching light from nowhere, and I got the distinct feeling that the room was waiting to see what I'd say next. Another crack split open behind her, wide and slow like a mouth forming a scream.
The unmaking needs to break something solid.
She continued.
Your hope, your belief in humanity is the last lock on the door.
I took a step back. So what? You brought me here so some eldritch morality gremlin can debate me to death?
I brought you here so it could speak to you uninterrupted. So it could show you the world through its eyes.
Uh-huh. And just so I can start panicking at the appropriate speed, where exactly is it right now? She met my eyes steady.
Close. When it's ready, it will speak through me. You'll know.
Great. Love that for both of us. And if I say no?
Then it waits. It wears you down. It shows you that everything is broken until you break too.
She paused, then added softer.
I didn't know who the ritual would choose when I started it. But when I realized it picked you, I thought maybe it was right.
I opened my mouth to say something, probably something dumb and hopeful, but I stopped. You really think this is the only way? That everyone's beyond saving? She didn't respond. Look, I get it. You've seen the worst in people. You lived through stuff I can't even imagine. But for every monster that lit a fire, there was somebody crying when it went out. For every coward holding a rope, there was a kid growing up wondering why their mama never came home. Those folks deserve better than a reset. Raccoon Jr.'s jaw tightened.
The world has been burning for centuries. When do we admit we can't put it out?
I took a slow step closer. Maybe we don't. But that don't mean you drop a bomb and start from scratch. That means you keep fighting. Even if it's small. Even if it's just protecting the next good soul from being swallowed whole. She looked away, her shoulders curling slightly inward.
You sound like Thistle.
Well, maybe she's got the right idea. You think starting over makes it easier, but what if it just means making the same mistakes again without the people who were trying to do it right? Her fingers curled inward. The floor beneath her cracked faintly, but not like before. This wasn't anger. This was uncertainty.
I don't know anymore,
she said, voice catching. A low hum bled into the air so deep it made my ribs itch. The light in the crystal floor dimmed to a cold blue, and every floating mirror slowly tilted toward us, like they'd all heard the same secret. That is when one of them lit up. It had been drifting in the background like the rest, but now it glowed from within, tall, cracked, and holding a reflection that wasn't me or Raccoon Jr.
No.
In the glass, Abigail. This week's mail was delivered by Grits and Gravy, floating through the mirror realm with a little rowboat made of shattered logic and glitter glue. They took a wrong turn at a cracked reality and showed up with 5 letters, a harmonica, and a live goose that won't stop screaming. Let's see what dimensional nonsense y'all cooked up.
Redneck Mailtime. It's time for Redneck Mailtime. Yee-haw, Redneck Mailtime.
Letter number 1 comes from Darla in Tennessee. Pa, if you end up in someone else's dreamscape like you did with Mary, can you leave your own dreams behind? Darla, that's a mighty philosophical question, but I reckon if you're deep enough in someone else's mind, your own dreams start acting like guests at a weird party. They either mingle awkward or go hide in the bathroom. I don't think you lose them, but they might take a back seat while the host nightmares are running the buffet. Letter number 2 comes from Luke in Wyoming. Do mirrors remember what they see? Luke, buddy, I once had a mirror in my bathroom that steamed up every time I lied to myself about starting a diet. So, yeah, I think they remember just enough to haunt you. Mirrors are like quiet librarians that saw you dance naked to 90s country and never let you forget. Letter number 3 comes from Sandra in Florida. Is it possible to accidentally start a ritual by cleaning an old mirror? Absolutely, Sandra. I once Windexed a cursed vanity and got a week's worth of whispers about my unresolved issues. If it's older than your grandma and looks like it belonged in a haunted saloon, just give it a respectful nod and let the dust stay. Smudges are safer than summoning. Letter number 4 comes from Travis in Missouri. If I see someone that looks exactly like me in the mirror but they wink when I don't, what do I do? Well, Travis, the first step is don't wink back. That's how they get you. Second step is turn around real slow and check if anything behind you is backwards, floating, or trying to sell you moonshine in Latin. Third step, burn some sage, eat a moon pie, call it a day. Letter number 5 comes from Beth in Oregon. Is there any way to know if your reflection is really yours? Beth, your reflection is kind of like your cousin Ricky. Most of the time it's fine, but if it ever starts acting too polite or blinking out of sync, it's probably possessed. Best way to check is to do something unexpected. Make a face you've never made before. If it copies you exactly, good. If it hesitates, you better start running. Mirrors got rules, and if one of them breaks the rules, you ain't dealing with glass anymore. You've been listening to the Deep South Podcast. I'm your host, Possum Paul McGraw Jr. Next time, we're cracking mirrors, cracking open memories, and maybe even cracking a plan to stop this whole ritual mess before it swallows us whole. Remember, don't trust a mirror that blinks first. If your dreams smell like pennies, it's probably cursed. And never fight a goose in a crystal realm. Just run. Y'all go down to the description and check out the voice actors and their links. They really helped me a lot with this, and I couldn't do it without them. Y'all be safe out there and stay weird.